tale of the president and his fixer is rooted in New York's cutthroat business world, where powerful players do whatever it takes to make problems go away.
You need to know people, you need to be able to threaten people, and when you threaten them, you have to be believed that what you say will actually occur. And you've got to have the cash to back it up.
And does Michael Cohen have the personality traits to do that?
Oh, sure. Because he loves his job.
But this is a story of a fixer's fix gone wrong.
Do you have a message for the president?
A payment of $130,000 in hush money to a porn star. It's become a national obsession, with the salacious allegations imperiling a celebrity president.
And I was like, turn around, drop him.
You told Donald Trump to turn around and take off his pants?
Yes.
I mean, I'm trying to imagine George Washington watches his wooden teeth. You know, he had wooden teeth would probably fall out on the ground. I mean, he would say, what is this? The teeth would go flying to the ground. I mean, ridiculous. Because people can say and do whatever the hell they want.
Veteran New York Democratic political consultant Hank Scheinkopf knows and likes both Donald Trump and Cohen. For him, the president's attack dog did nothing wrong in trying to quietly solve his boss's Stormy problem.
He was doing what he was supposed to do. That should not be a crime.
Have you talked to Mr. Trump about a pardon?
Not.
Prosecutors don't agree. After a referral from special counsel Robert Mueller, the FBI raided Cohen's home and office, seizing documents relating to the now infamous $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels days before the 2016 election. In return for the cash, which Cohen funneled through a shell company, Stormy agreed to keep quiet about an alleged affair in 2006, which the president has always denied.
If this $130,000 payment was made to keep damaging information out of the news cycle to benefit the Trump campaign, and Trump knew about it, and Trump's own associate did it, then that raised the question of whether that should have been reported, whether that was an excessive campaign contribution, and whether the American people were deprived of their right to know who was trying to influence their votes and their views.
Already battling the Russia probe, President Donald Trump initially denied any knowledge of the payment, saying Cohen acted without his knowledge and paid out of his own pocket.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels?
Funneled through a firm, and the president repaid it.
The president's new lawyer and former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani spectacularly exploded that defence when he told Fox News the president had in fact repaid the money to Cohen.
Listen, I mean, there are those in the Trump circle who probably wish that Rudy Giuliani would get a clear case of arthritis of the tongue. It'd be very good to stop him from talking.
Today, the president finally updated his disclosure form and put his reimbursement of Cohen on the record. That's now been referred to the Department of Justice by the Office of Government Ethics. Stephen Spalding used to be a lawyer at the Federal Election Commission. He filed a civil lawsuit over the Stormy payment back in January on behalf of a Democratic-linked political group. He also asked the Justice Department to pursue criminal action and says the shifting explanations are damaging.
It is very significant. It goes to show that the president did have knowledge, that the president was making decisions, that the president was reimbursing Michael Cohen for the payment. And again, I think there's plenty here for investigators to track down.
The president's lawyers are now trying to make the case the payment was to prevent personal pain to First Lady Melania Trump, rather than to influence voters. But the cover-ups will make that defence much harder to mount.
Had the president, as a candidate, just paid that money out of his own personal account and reported it, there wouldn't be a problem. If he had just been transparent about this money that we think was intended to influence the election, there wouldn't be a problem. Instead, the money was funneled through a number of different bank accounts, which brings up wire fraud, brings up bank fraud, brings up all sorts of other legal problems.
Stormy Daniels has caused the president more pain than any of his political adversaries, and it won't end soon because, legal battles aside, it's making her very rich. Her booking agent told us that the number of shows she's booked for has increased fivefold. It seems she's now using the president's business model of trading on the Trump name to get rich.
Good morning. Michael, how are you doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
It also put the spotlight firmly on Michael Cohen and the dark arts of the president's personal fixer.
It's inaccurate.
How do you feel about you may have changed an election?
Before working for Trump, Cohen made a fortune investing in New York's famous yellow cabs. And he's not well regarded by the drivers who used to work for him, who say they were routinely underpaid. Hi, Ashim.
Drivers are being, robbed, literally robbed, on daily basis from their hard-earned money.
Cohen partnered with the man dubbed the Taxi King, Evgeny Friedman, who has since been jailed and pursued for unpaid taxes, bankruptcy and underpaying drivers. Ashim Akhtar worked at the Friedman-Cohen garage for 5 years and says its managers operated with threats and wage theft.
They would threaten them, like, if you come back to my garage, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. They will curse. They would be very aggressive to drivers, whereas no other garages were as aggressive as they are.
With Uber cruelling the taxi industry, Cohen needed new revenue, and the 2016 election opened doors. Trading on his close relationship with the president, Cohen was paid millions by some of America's biggest companies to lobby on their behalf. The cash was paid to the same shell company used to make the Stormy Daniels payment.
I think what it shows is that Michael Cohen and Donald Trump have never been far apart and were joined at the hip even after Trump came into office, which is why these companies, why these individuals were willing to pay Michael Cohen hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. We're sort of more the analytical cell.
Max Bergman, a former speechwriter to Secretary of State John Kerry, leads a Democratic lobby group called the Moscow Project. They say among Cohen's paying customers was an investment firm, Columbus Nova, which shelled out $500,000. It's linked to Russian oligarch Viktor Vekselberg.
And so there's a lot that we don't know, but again and again and again, what we see with Michael Cohen, what we see with Trump, are that their connections to Russia and to Kremlin-connected oligarchs are incredibly strong and are incredibly deep.
Cohen is due in a Manhattan court next week, where prosecutors will seek to end his meteoric rise with an even more dramatic fall, which could have serious implications for Trump's presidency.
One thing is for sure, he was very loyal to Mr. Trump. He made the payment. That's been established. Was it illegal? What's the crime? I haven't figured out what the crime is yet. I mean, if no public funds were used, what's the crime?